What's going on, Sky fans? We got news. Tyler Marsh has made the first hiring on his coaching staff, and it's a former 11-year WNBA vet in Courtney Paris. Kind of similar to what Teresa Weatherspoon did with her having a former WNBA player as well on her coaching staff when she, filled that out. But we're going to talk about it all and more. You already know what we got to do first. Before we do anything, we got to play the intro, and I'll catch you guys on the other side of this.
Welcome to Chicago Sky Central, and here's your host, Haize.
What's going on, Sky fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Sky Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chicago Sky Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. Let's go ahead and get into it today. So this one came out a little while ago, about a couple of hours ago at this point, that Tyler Marsh has hired Courtney Paris on his staff. We don't know exactly the role, but she is the first assistant now hired on Tyler Marsh's staff, which, I like the signing overall. I think that you want some players that can relate, especially when you have a young team. You're building a young team. You're trying to develop these ladies. Having somebody that has gone through the process, has had to go through the rigors of the WNBA game, has had to go through the fights and all that type of thing. And also somebody who's just been in the league at the point where the league wasn't at its best. I think it can help, right? And while the league is improving in a lot of areas, marketing and getting facilities now for players, it's all something that's really important for the growth of the game and the development of your players. But having somebody around who's been there since the beginning of this thing with the W, I think is a really important thing. You want to have somebody that can relate. And that's not to say that Tyler Marsh can't relate. Like when you look at what he's done at his previous stop, like the ladies loved him there. So it's not like he can't relate, but just to have somebody who's in there with the grind is a really important thing when it comes down to it as well. Paris, she was 2 seasons under wing coach Latricia Trammell's bench as well from 2023 to 2024 when it comes to that. And Tyler Marsh said this: "We're extremely excited to have Courtney join our staff here in Chicago. She brings a decade of WNBA experience as a player and as a coach and will surely benefit our players." And that's really good. That's really good when it comes down to it, right? You want the people that are going to relate and understand what they need to do. Courtney Paris adding in as well. I'm deeply honored and grateful to Jeff Pagliosha and to Tyler for the opportunity to join the Chicago Sky organization. Through this process, I've had the chance to get to know Tyler, and I'm truly inspired by his vision and leadership. I'm eager to support him and the entire coaching staff as we work to elevate this team. And that's what we need. We need to elevate this team. We need to elevate the place and the expectations of what this team is and what this team could be as well. And we're not going to grow that without having the right people in every position in this franchise. And that's what you need. You need the right people who have the vision in the front office. You need the right ownership group who's going to spin what it takes to put these ladies in position and to set a standard. You need a coach who's going to be there and be a leader. You need a staff who's going to help execute the coach's vision. And then you need the players on the roster that can get it all done and fight and battle and put their heart all out there on the court. So as the Sky are trying to build this organization, that's really good what you hear from it. Elizabeth Williams also said she's great. Not only is really skilled and smart player, but a really great person. We're going to continue to bring in people that elevate us on and off the court, off the floor. I'm excited to have her. I'm always excited to have a great post coach. Hey, so Elizabeth Williams is excited about it. We haven't heard anything from Angel yet. Kennedy Carter, Camila Cardoso, probably not. Camila's overseas. But it's just really good place to be in. And I'm happy that the Sky are trying to build something, right? That's what it comes down to. I'm just happy that the Sky are trying to build. Like, it's not that I always agree with Pagliosha and what he does as a GM. And I didn't agree with moving on from Teresa Weatherspoon, but that decision was made. And it seems like they've started the right path of getting the right people in the right situations. Tyler Marsh is somebody who was highly coveted. People expected him to leave. You look at what he did there with that Aces team and the respect that he commanded there. And you want somebody who's going to bring over that standard over here to the Chicago Sky. That's what we're hoping as well. So let's hope that this is a first step, right? First several steps in what's going to turn the Sky into a winning team, right? And that's what you got to continue to do. We're leading into, we're getting closer and closer to the WNBA draft. We're getting into Unrivaled, which will be starting soon. More on that here in a second. But overall, like, you love what, and you think that Courtney Paris is also somebody who I expect the way that she communicates is going to be very well and poignant. she majored in journalism. So it's not like she's anybody who doesn't understand the words that needs and how to relate to people, right? Being a journalist, you have to know how to do that. She went to Oklahoma. She's a two-time rebounding champion. She won the WNBA championship in 2018. So it was 6 years ago at that point. Look at what she was able to do. Also in college, three-time Big 12 Player of the Year between 2007 and 2009. Defensive Player of the Year 3 times in the Big 12 as well. A two-time Big 12 tournament most outstanding player in 2006 and 2007. Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Hey, she is a very decorated basketball player. And when you look at like what this team needs, and it's as far as you trying to set a standard of excellence, you want somebody who's done it at all levels possible. She was a McDonald's All-American MVP. She every level of basketball she's excelled at in high school, in college, and in the pros. Now she's trying to do it in coaching. And if you can do that, hey, that's what you want to see. You want to see people who can develop. And also what I love about this more than anything, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I love when you have people in place that could eventually ascend to being a head coach themselves. And that may be what Courtney Paris eventually can do as well. That's down the road, hopefully way down the road. We don't have to worry about that. But overall, like you just want to see the Sky do things like they're doing now. So we'll see how that goes. My boy, I thought you had a Michael Jordan under them caps. Why does everybody do you not watch NBA Central? I never wear a hat on NBA Central. Never wear a hat on NBA Central. Just because I wear hats don't mean I'm bald, fam. Like, I just like hats. I got a full head of hair. It's my actual hair. I got a full head of hair. I love, like, come on, y'all. Come on, man. What are we doing? Yo, me not getting notifications is really starting to piss me off. I hope I didn't miss most of this live. No, by the time you left this comment, I had only been live for like 3 minutes, so you didn't miss a lot of it. Camilla is focused on her work abroad. I love that for her. She's working. She's working, right? And you got to love that for her. And you know, Kennedy, what she's doing overseas as well over in China. Breonna Turner's playing pretty well overseas. Isabel Harrison's kind of it's being a little up and down, right? But, you know, a lot of the Sky ladies are overseas balling right now. And you got to love to see that. Love to see that. But with that said, really love the hiring of Courtney Paris. I think this is a really good signing on that coaching staff. And yeah, we're going to see how it continues to flesh out that coaching staff. I'm not mad at what he's doing here. And Tyler Marsh, I think Tyler Marsh understands he has to have the people around him because he's been one of those people, right? He's been on a staff with Becky Hammon that had a lot of people that are going to go on and be head coaches. So Tyler Marsh understands how having the right people around work on things. So I think that's a great thing. But let's get into the next topic that we got to talk about today. And this one came out a few days ago. Angel Reese is working with trainer David Alexander, getting ready to play in Unrivaled. But overall, she's playing. She's training with David Alexander. And this may seem one thing that we don't talk about. I know the Sky don't have their own facility yet, but working with David Alexander is great. Angel Reese has talked about how he's helping sharpen her skills and elevating her game. David Alexander has worked with LeBron. He's worked with Paul George. He's worked with Dwayne Wade. And he's worked with sports players in multiple sports as well. He's worked with some soccer players, golfers. This is a trainer that understands how to get you to the point of your physical prime, right? How to get the most out of you physically. That's a really good thing. And Angel Reese is really taking and owning her development that's going to come over the course of this offseason. And that can't do nothing but great for this guy. She didn't go overseas like Camilla and Kennedy. She will be playing in Unrivaled, which starts in about 3 weeks. So we'll be getting Unrivaled play here in a second, right? But it's really good that she is putting herself and picking the right people to work to elevate her game. It'd be easy to just kind of go with trainers that she either worked before, go to LSU, work in their gyms, work in their facilities, right? Things like that we've seen other players doing. No knock on the players that do that. But to get with a trainer and to hire a trainer that's worked with some really good NBA players, to work with some really good basketball players overall, that's what you want to see Angel Reese do. Can't wait to see how she looks in Unrivaled. It already looks like her body. You can see, and I don't mean that in a creep way for you creeps out there, but you can already see that Angel Reese has really started building some lean muscle already. And you could tell from the end of LSU to where she is now when you look at some of her social media and this video that David Alexander posted, that she's putting in that work. She's putting in that work. And I think it's going to be really big for her. She also talked about why she stayed over in the United States instead of going overseas. She said this: For one, I'm staying in the States. I don't have to go overseas. I'm making six figures. I'm living in Miami during my off season, but I get to work with trainers and put myself in a position where I'm going to push myself to get to my peak. Great quote there. Now, shout out to her for making what she's going to make over in Unrivaled. I'm glad that she's making that money there, but she gets to stay here and work and stay around her family, things like that. I think that's important as well. Angel's putting in that work. Anybody that's doubting Angel and things like that, she's really putting in that work and she's building that strength. Of course, naturally everybody's going to ask, is she going to be more efficient on that jump shot? Has she started working on that? I think she's going to be fine with that overall. I think Angel Reese is going to be a player that she has the drive to get better, and she's going to continually try to get better. And I actually think, we're going to probably see more of her passing and her point forward ability as well going into next season. I think Tyler Marsh is really going to try to use her as that. And hey, I'm not mad at it. But we'll get to see Angel Reese play basketball in just, if I'm not mistaken, it's January 5th, right? Let's see. I just want to make sure I'm giving that right. When is it debuting? The 2025 season will be aired on TNT. I didn't know that. Did you guys know it was going to be on TNT and Max? I honestly didn't know that. I didn't know that was going to be the case. I had no idea that was going to be the case, actually. When does the season start? January 17th. All right, the 17th. All right. Oh, somebody put in should have looked at the comment section. 17th. All right. So about a month away from Unrivaled starting. Going to be really good there. I think that's going to be fun. Carmela, LA and Dana is playing well too. Turkey loves them some Dana. She's doing her thing. Listen, Dana always cooks overseas. Dana overseas is like, I really wish that we can get that version of Dana in the WNBA, because and whether it's role, whether it's whatever it is, what she's able to do over there is crazy. It's crazy. So Dana's a baller. Dana's a hooper, right? Now, I get it and I understand, because the same thing happens over in the NBA. Not the way that everybody plays overseas is transferable to stateside, because just, different talent and things like that. But Dana, I hate that people really look at Dana like she's some bad player, and she's not. I think Dana is just a player that has to play a specific role to get herself in rhythm, and she's such a special scorer when she's on. TNT announced the deal a few weeks ago. Damn it, I missed that. Will y'all cover Unrivaled? Yes, we will be covering Unrivaled. We'll basically be back in season mode for that for Unrivaled, and not just covering Angel Reese's team. We'll be covering the whole league. I don't know how often we're going to get in front of cams to do it, but we will be covering Unrivaled. Probably once a week we'll get in there and cover it. We're also going to start doing, now that we have more data, we're going to start getting our draft rankings, kind of our big board for players we'd love to see, the Chicago Sky draft. So we'll definitely get on that. Trade Dana for some seconds. I mean, she's a restricted free agent this offseason, so they could force her sign and trade, which they could get some assets back to help them in other areas. I don't know if you're going to get a second for it, though. I mean, we'll see. Dana is not a bad player. She just needs a new start on a new team. And sometimes that's what players need. Look, Kennedy needed it with us. When you look at what Kennedy and her saying that the Chicago was the first place she felt accepted, right? Sometimes players just need a change of scenery. They just need a change of scenery. So, and that's not a knock. You're not going to hear me knock Dana Evans, right? I will appropriately evaluate her game and when she makes mistakes and things like that. But as a player overall and as a person, I have no knocks on Dana Evans. She just needs to find the right situation for her, and we'll see what happens there. We'll see if she gets to that situation. Dana and Harrison, they better hoop and behave like a vet. I mean, hey, I can feel where you're coming from for that one for sure. But all right, y'all, that's my time. I just wanted to bring you guys those updates. Be looking out for the draft big board to come out here soon. I need to get with Steve-O to see when we're going to be able to put that together. You guys see the new digs as well in the studio? They don't make big Chicago Sky signs. That's why I don't have a sky one. Look, there's a spot right there. Just got to find it. I just got to find it. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following the show at Chicago Sky Pod. You guys could follow us or you can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, Chicago Sky Central at gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We share that voicemail with Chicago Bulls Central. So just so you guys are aware, but love you guys. Go Sky. And we'll be talking here sooner rather than later. But by the way, in the comment section, if you're watching this after a post, whatever, and if for those that are watching it live, don't leave it yet. Wait till I stop the live and then come back. I want to know through this part of the college, the women's season so far, who are your top 3 players that you would love to see the Chicago Sky draft? Leave that on